Okay, I'm trying to make another video. It's dropping. So I was saying, why are the poets the Ichor of the gods, the elixir of the gods, the Ichor, the center, the apple of the gods' eyes, depending on how you see God. And I'm speaking from a context, symbolic context of the people, like the writers, the poets, the storytellers. They're the ones who get to tell the next story, you know, on whatever level that is, energetic or physical, historical. You know, the winners write the novel, and I see that on an energetic level. And so art, like, I don't think it's just the poets. I think it's the muse total, like the muses of the gods, like the competition of the muses, and it gets down to singing. And so they say singing is the most important to the gods, but it was not. All the art forms were important to the gods. And I think when it came down to a competition, it was the harpies that wanted to compete over the music, you know, the demoted energies, and singing over. I can't remember the whole story right now, but I think on my messages back in October, I had those stories up because those were really pouring through me for symbology, which is about healing the story here. So the Ichor of the gods, the core, the wisdom, the core, the apple of the eye, the most beloved of the gods, is the art. So of and in oneself, what is most important to you is your art. It should be your art form. Why? Because it's the art that brings one before kings, or the king, or the head, or the throne, or the Most High. I have a person behind me who is distracting me, and so they need to stop distracting me. I need to bring that energy in my center, and I'm not going to be distracted by it. So, the Ichor of the gods, the apple of the gods' eyes, that is the poet. That is the one who churns the sea of the soul. You all do, you know, but what churns the sea of your soul? And that's what's going to make, in symbology wise, that is what's going to bring up what you love from your center and allow you to minister to yourself as God. And I'm, you know, to those of you whose gods are all outside of you, I mean no disrespect, but God wants us to be that temple and to reflect it. So, you know, in essence, before you, that's what I'm speaking of. And if it's not that, and you understand the symbology of what I'm saying on a different level, then that's what I'm speaking to you as, and through. So, when you become the Eye of Ra, the God of the self, and you're not divided against yourself, but seeing all things as yourself, that's how you transmute your shadow, and it stops coming to attack you like the, you know, the Ma of Tricks movie, where they have all the, you know, the bad guy subdivides and becomes all the things. They're saying, like in the Matrix, all the things outside of you are your shadow, but then again, you have to take all things here symbolically. That has to be taken as symbol, where you can digest it in yourself and then therefore ask yourself. But if you don't know yourself, you cannot ask yourself, and yourself is not going to answer you. So bowing to the soul, you get there through your art, through the love of yourself as an eternal being. When you see yourself as such, you don't see yourself under this God going to that hell, and that person under this God going to that hell, and on this earth in hell, and all the levels of hells that you can say are here. Or as the Buddha said, flip them over, then they're all heavens. That's doing your shadow work. poets, the writers being the Ichor of the gods, it's the ones who get the symbology, because it's the symbol that created language that we use for poetry. Like we say the gods here created language or brought down language, or the word or the spirit or fire or Prometheus or Christ or the Enchristed. It's the symbols we receive. Like when people are like, I'm receiving star symbols. And I'm not making fun of you, because I do that, and I did that, especially through dance, and it brought me to where I wanted to be. I'm just trying to make it clear that the majority of people aren't connected to what they're doing in the core, knowing that they are everything and they're one all at the same time. And only reason why I say that is so that you're not depressed, so that you can get ahead, so that you can be your highest self and connect to that easily, knowing there's nothing between you and God except the word, and how far you want to take your word. Are you how close are you to your Godhead? How close are you to your God in your temple? Are you on the other side of the veil? Has the veil been removed? This is how you are the Ichor of the gods, the singular symbol here. When you come down to show people here at this time that that's what they're supposed to be here, transmuting the symbols of themselves, and becoming all with the one on whatever level they're going to become that oneness at. And if you don't like a woman as a teacher, or you don't like someone you think is less than you as a teacher, well, you'd probably understand the facts that all the greats had women teachers. They just weren't allowed to show face. They weren't allowed to show themselves. And you've got a woman teacher in you. She's called the divine feminine. Whether or not you make her the archetype of evil or good is your illness or your problem. Solipsism is the farthest divine feminine aspect you can go, and the negative polarity. It's schizophrenia, which is a delusion and a division of the male, female within the self too. I'm just talking about how far over. When you go the other far end of the left, then you're the horned God, and you think, once again, you're doing everything for God when you're not. So, yes, I get you, dark peoples that made whole religions out of your darkness so you could understand your shadow, but you're just as bad as Christians and every other religion you hate, if that's all it is to you, is another religion. And at the same time, I applaud you for getting where you are in life, but nobody's taking me down who's in that level of the Maya, in the Mara, in the Maya, in the Amara of the soul. Amara is another word for soul. Amaris of the sea, soul. The Virgin Mary, soul. Put your light on the salt water, the light of the mind on the heart space. Be awakened to the self as God on whatever level you can. How do you do that? Simply and easily. Bow to your soul and love it. Love it every day. Tell your soul, I love you. Tell your whoever you are, all of you, no matter what, no matter how anyone treats you, how matter upset you get or what's going on, you love yourself. That's the beginning of the easiest way to find grace, and bow to your soul. Without which everything falls apart, by Haravi. I'm not probably pronouncing it right even. I use whatever language comes through when Spirit speaks, not saying I know that language. Sometimes it comes in symbol and I don't know that language, and then later on, here I am translating it into language. Some people call light language, which it's just what we are. We're just in the ether, swimming in the ether, receiving from the ether as part of the ether, which some people call the Naga, and gotta make a whole big evil religion about it. Woo! Gotta crawl into caves on drugs. Woo! I gotta experience it, because everything here is experience is the tactile. So you tell everyone else who hasn't had your experience, their experience isn't real. On whatever level that relates to you, I do it to people, used to do it to people, but now I don't care about that because I just want my real to be real. Schizophrenia is persons, real is their real. But they're also, I'm not going to let a schizophrenic person control my life. And when I help them and they refuse any help, there's nothing I can do for them. We all have free will. No matter how deep you choose to be in that free will shadow, it's a choice. And I'm not like, Scientology where I'm saying don't take your drugs. I'm saying take the drugs because they might save your life, and then you might be able to do the work to get to a place where you're at least compatible with yourself. Never mind society, because screw society. You have to heal you. But also, don't become a predator, because there's currents above predatorial, low nature things that take large currents, and they take them all at once when they take them. And it's a great division. So that's all I can say. Enlightenment's coming to everything. So, don't be the one who wants to dumb everything down, which I kept warning the people I was about with. And they said I was just dumbing myself down. So whatever, I don't, dig yourself out of your own pit, whatever. I intend to get compensated for everything I speak, do, and say. And getting to the point where, sharing this, I hope, brings that about, because allowing me to speak and share has been a way that you have healed me, even if it's only 62 people, 82 people, 5 people. I mean, we start with nothing. I had a way bigger channel when I had all my weird stuff up. My deeper suffering, not weird stuff, but, it was out there about disillusion of the whole galaxy, the whole everything. Only because I was too far in the left-hand side of my feminine divine, and then when I would pull out, I'd be too far in my masculine horned god, and then you just realize those are cycles, like planetary cycles in your moon cycle, and you pull yourself together within your center, and you love yourself, and then you can present this wisdom and knowledge as just the word and symbology, and hope the energy of your word blesses people. And that's all you can do, really. So thank you for letting me share that.